From City Stadium at Richmond, Virginia, good evening and welcome to Richmond Kickers United League Soccer. Hi, everybody. Along with Ronnie Pascal, I'm John Emmett. Tonight, the Kickers open their 26th season as they battle a newcomer to USL, the Indy 11. Kickers come in with a record of 0-1, a tough opening day at Bethlehem Steel Football Club. The Kickers fell 4-1. Meanwhile, the Indy 11 joining the USL, coming over from the not dead, just resting North American Soccer League. But it's, Ronnie, a team with a lot of talent, MLS experience, guys that had a lot of success at the North American soccer level, and it's going to be a challenge for the Kickers tonight.
Yeah, you know, Coach Martin Rennie, who's no stranger to the Kickers, came in and completely revamped his lineup, brought in a lot of veteran experience. He went on record saying he was trying to find value out there, guys who he thought he could get for a good contract that were valued less than what they're really worth.
And maybe one of those guys, Jack McInerney, still only 25 years old. He's scored 43 Major League Soccer goals. He's even had a little time with the U.S. national men's team. Now he finds himself in USL and trying to establish value for himself again.
Yeah, you know, he's got a lot of experience. He's been through the national team ranks from the 17s all the way up to the senior team. And, you know, like you said, he scored 43 goals in over 100 appearances for MLS. So he's a guy who's going to bring a lot of experience.
For the Kickers, not a lot of bright spots last week, but one who was Oscar Umar, the native of Ghana who joined the Kickers halfway through last season, scored his first professional goal, and it was a golazo, as our friends on Univision like to say.
Yeah, you know, he's one of those feel-good stories. You hear his story. He came over from Ghana in 2008, got some opportunities at different levels, and really been a mainstay in the Kickers lineup since he came over midway through the season last year.
All right, so the Kickers getting set to face an Indy 11 squad that will feature Owen Williams in goal. He is a native of Wales who's had some time in the English and Scottish systems. In the back four, Carlisle Mitchell, Trinidad and Tobago national. Carl Ouimet comes over from the San Francisco Deltas, where he helped win a championship last season. Matt Watson will wear the captain's armband. Zach Steinberger in the midfield, the former first-round draft pick of the Houston Dynamos. Eugene Starkov, interesting story, born in the old USSR, but actually grew up in California and Florida, and has U.S. national team titles. Sooney Saad has Major League Soccer experience with Wood Kansas City last year, and then McInerney plays as a striker. It should play, according to Lee, as kind of a 4-2-3-1 formation, and it's a group that certainly can put some offense up.
Yeah, you look at that lineup, and they've got a lot of offensive power.
All right, Kickers lineup, several changes from last week due in part to international call-ups. Travis Wara, the DC United loanee, is again in goal. You'll see Raul Gonzalez and Scott Thompson, normally midfielders, dropping back to play outside back, and Braden Troyer, who's normally an outside back, has to move in because of injury and call-up. Umar gets another start in the midfield. Brian Shriver had an assist on the goal by Umar last week. Kobe Osewusu is a rookie out of George Washington who had a very nice college career and then showed out well in tryouts. Giuseppe Gentile is actually probably going to wind up the central striker in this formation. Looked like a 4-5-1 last week. That's not what Coach Kalashaw had in mind at all, and he's hoping to play more of a 4-2-3-1 with more emphasis on attack.
Yeah, you look at that lineup, and both outside backs I expect to really get forward a lot and attack as much as possible. And they've got a lot of firepower going forward, so I know they didn't start the season they wanted to, but it's really all about, you know, how you play each game week in, week out, and I think they're looking to put on a show for hopefully a huge City Stadium crowd.
All right, just about set for the home opener, Richmond Kickers, Indy 11, and we're back with the kickoff next.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue with ProPilot Assist that helps keep you centered in your lane. The technology of tomorrow, available today. This is your last chance to save on America's best-selling SUV and our entire lineup. It's time for an upgrade. Hurry in to Nissan Now. Exclusive offers and this event end April 2nd. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models or save up to $10,500 on select models.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Hurry into James River Equipment, home of the 10-year tractor warranty. Visit jamesriverequipment.com.
How can an elephant go undercover to ensure great customer service? Well, it goes a little something like this. I carefully prepare my disguise.
Yes, ma'am. We've got a tow truck on the way to you right now.
I approach with the utmost subtlety.
Absolutely.
I observe undetected.
Repairs include a lifetime guarantee.
And slip away without a trace.
What?
When my customers are happy, I'm happy. And when I'm happy...
More care, less cost. Discover the elephant difference.
And we are underway. The 2018 home schedule for the Richmond Kickers. Kickers in the red kicked it off. And now Indy gets a throw. Matthew Franz, the referee. Ben Pilgrim, Andrew Hutton are the alternates. Our fourth official tonight is Neil Morissette. Carlisle Mitchell for Indy. Troyer gets a touch for Richmond. Now Starikoff for Indy. Zach Steinberger. Sooney Saad playing it back to Watson in midfield. Now the long ball for Saad. Shanoski turning it the other way for Richmond. Scott Thompson. Kobe Osewusu. Lavity keeps it in play, and now a touch for Travis Wara. Almost a minute gone. Indy 11 Richmond Kickers meeting for the first time ever at City Stadium. Nico Mattern. And Indy offside.
It's going to be interesting to see how this center back pairing of Braden Troyer and Connor Shanoski do. I know Braden's been kind of a utility man for the Kickers, so it'll be good to see him kind of slot in as a center back.
And Scott Thompson playing wide at back rather than his normal midfield. Kickers about as hard hit by international call-up as any side on the planet. They have 4 missing tonight on international duty.
Yeah, it's kind of the good and the bad of trying to get well-respected players, as you always run that chance. So it's good to see it happen. At the same time, it's hard to miss them.
Umar, an aggressive ball forward, winds up an Indy throw. And Fawn Williams getting his first touch between the sticks on loan from Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Currently a second division Scottish side, and that ball winds up a semi-souvenir.
Yeah, he's a goalkeeper. He's got a ton of experience. Actually played in a Europa League game. Was with Wales in the European Championship. So it'll be good to see him kind of adapt to the USL.
Thompson's service jammed away by Mitchell. Starikoff in deep. Sooney Saad with the run. Saad the touch for Steinberger. That's chased down by Shanoski. Troyer for Thompson. Lavity. Rainier Ferreira, native of Brazil, San Francisco Delta last season, winning what is likely the final North American Soccer League championship. And that's a Richmond throw. Osewusu in traffic. Gentile. Ferreira trying to head it clear. Imura kept it alive for Richmond. Now Gonzalez for Umar. They'll try the other side with Thompson. Shriver. But Thompson unable to get a clean touch, and it's a throw for Indy.
It's a good little spell possession by the kickers in their offensive third. Really looking for Udai Amora to have kind of a breakout season again this year after he was slowed down a little bit last year with a lot of injuries.
11 goals 2 years ago, 1 last season, but injured much of last season as Steinberger heading the ball forward. Gentile challenging Saad. Saad the long ball forward for McInerney, who was offside by about an area code, and that'll be a free kick for Richmond. Seventh minute, scoreless. Stands beginning to fill up a little bit. Some of the earlier week weather forecasts were not terribly optimistic. Not bad right now, about 50 degrees.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night for soccer. 50 degrees, sun's hiding behind the clouds.
Weemet head forward for Starikov. Now Watson. Hounded by Obewusu. Mitchell. Try Watson again. Now Starikov. 3 years in the Russian Premier League. He was Zenit St. Petersburg property. Now a run from Tyler Pasher. And his cross headed off the line. Indy thought they had a goal.
That was extremely well done by Braden Troyer. It's a good cross, and Warner goes for it. Don't think he gets a touch, and Braden does exactly what you're supposed to do when the goalkeeper comes out. But that was a great little spell possession by Indy 11. Really their composure and kind of veteran experience on the ball coming through right there.
Saad having a chat with one of the assistant referees, I think still discussing where that ball was in relation to the goal line. No VAR here. Saad will take the corner, the first of the match. And his service in is gobbled up by Wara as Mitchell jumped up to get a head on it, but Wara was not terribly stressed there.
Yeah, it's a good corner kick, well whipped in. I think defensively the kickers are going to want to tighten that up a little bit, but it's always good as a goalkeeper to get your first save in early in the match and keep it relatively simple like that.
Now Shriver for Richmond. That ball eluded Obewusu. Mitchell, an aggressive ball forward for McInerney. Now Starikov. Closed down by Umar. Indy wanted a foul. Mr. Franz says play on. And Nico Maturin, the rookie in the Indy lineup, but you got to put kind of an asterisk by rookie because he played 1 year of college soccer as a 24/25-year-old, actually from Germany, and knocked around the German lower divisions, the semi-pro 3rd through the 5th, the regional leagues for several years. He's a pretty well-traveled rookie.
Yeah, you find that a lot in college soccer as these different colleges are looking overseas quite a bit, and you bring in guys who are quote-unquote freshmen that have a ton of experience.
And they're freshmen who wind up when the eligibility clearinghouse gets done with them mysteriously walking on senior night. Seen that a couple of times.
Yeah, the old college basketball one and done.
Obewusu unable to keep that ball in play. One really good chance for Indy early is kickers and Indy 11 scoreless. Watson takes the free kick. Troyer up to win the header. Murrah, a little touch there for Umar. Now Gentile drops it back. Gonzalez also playing out of normal position tonight. Thompson, an aggressive ball forward looking for Shriver. Weemet there to try to close him down. Imura, Shriver. Umar broken up, but recovered by Shriver. Lavity wearing the captain's armband. And his pass denied by Pasher. Von Williams trying to help the 11 regroup a bit. Saad got a touch on it. Starikoff deflected it back to Watson. Now Pasher plays it back for Mattern. Ouimet. Steinberger fouled by Imura. Almost 10 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there was much there. You see both teams being pretty aggressive defensively, really getting after the ball. I think the personality of the game's really starting to show up now. Kickers are, like Lee Kalashad said, looking very direct.
Starikoff, but we get a whistle and a stoppage. And again, Indy was offside.
Yeah, Starikoff just came from a little bit behind the defenders. The back four by Richmond's doing a pretty good job of staying together right now, keeping the line tight and aggressive. And you've seen a couple offsides already.
Shriver a little space. Creates a bit more. Now Imura. Really easy for Pasher right there. And he'll send Shinosky chasing. That took a friendly bounce for McInerney. But Steinberger's pass behind Starikoff. And Umar starts it the other way for Richmond. Gentile unable to get a clean touch. Watson for Suni Saad. 2 stints with Sporting Kansas City. He's part of a Sporting team that won a championship and an Open Cup. Watson back for Ferreira. The Brazilian with ball that got a piece of McInerney, and then McInerney apparently a little push there. Free kick Richmond.
Yeah, I think the first 10 minutes of the game kind of played out the way that you'd expect. Both teams a little bit frantic, trying to kind of put their stamp on the game. Now things are going to start to slow down a little bit as they get a little bit more comfortable out on the field and feel each other out.
Umar had some high pressure from Steinberger. Shinosky looking for Gentile. Ferreira got there first. That's a Richmond throw. And a chance for the Red Army to show their appreciation. Gonzalez will take it. Umar! Didn't quite get all of that.
I think he was kind of between two minds right there.
And a comfortable touch for Von Williams.
Yeah, it looks like Umar was kind of in between trying something really spectacular and kind of got half of it.
Watson, Starikoff. Strong tackle from Thompson. Denying the Ouimet run. Ouimet, native of Quebec. He's had some time with the Canadian national side. Lavity for Imura, broken up by Ouimet, recovered by Shriver. Then Ouimet again for Mattern. Ferreira. Tyler Pasher. Now Ferreira, the diagonal ball for Starikoff. Thompson got a head in the way. Shriver trying to start the counter for Richmond. Umar tumbles and maybe a little soft push there from Mattern.
Yeah, I would say so. You kind of want You kind of want Umar to try to turn that ball and keep it going to the opposite side of the field in that situation, but I think he's kind of fortunate to get the foul called.
Troyer will take the restart. Pasher gets up, wins that. Watson for Indy, evading the Gentile tackle. Now McInerney, Watson on the overlap. Indy numbers forward. Service in. A little too far for Starikoff, and it is a goal kick.
That's something Richmond Kickers fans saw a number of years ago, was Matt Watson streaking down the flank here at City Stadium. Does a really good job getting forward, a nice little 1-2, and tries to pick out McInerney on the far post just a little bit too high.
At age 33, still a little jump. This is his 13th professional season. A former Ronnie Pascal teammate. Owusu was in a pretty good wrestling match for the ball that eventually wound up deflected by Shriver, and it's an Indy restart here. A little over a quarter of an hour gone, and we are scoreless. Indy with the best chance, cleared off the line by Richmond. That was in about the 7th minute. Gonzalez broke that up. Pasher will restart with a throw. That's broken up by Gonzalez, but Indy inching up the pitch. Steinberger's pass tipped by Gentile. Watson kept it in play. Service for McInerney.
That's exactly what you don't want to see if you're a Richmond Kickers fan, is 3 guys just kind of stop and put their hand up instead of playing for the whistle. And it's a good cross far post, and again, just a little bit high. Couldn't really get up over the ball. Did direct it back on target, but some good signs if you're an Indy 11 fan. There's Kickers coach Lee Kalishaw and assistant coach Mike Callahan, who's a former player also. You know, Lee said beginning of this week that they were really going to look to be more direct and really attacking, and I think they're holding true. They get the ball, pass it around a couple times, and then look to get forward with it.
Here's Tyler Pasher for Indy. Now Mattern. Carlisle Mitchell. And then Steinberger fouled by Lavity, and it's a free kick for the Indy 11. 18th minute, no score. First time these clubs have met. Indy in their 5th season. And one outstanding year. 2 years ago, they went to the North American Soccer League Finals. Last season, their year in the win-loss column, a lot like the Kickers' year. The difference was, while the Kickers couldn't score, Indy couldn't stop anybody. And they blew up the roster, brought in Coach Rennie in his first season. Service in for Starikoff. And that's interrupted by Travis Wara. An aggressive restart for Shriver. Broken up by Saad, and it's off in Murrah for an Indy throw.
Yeah, well done there by Travis Wara. The ball pops up in the box. Took pretty good control of it. Came out and handled the ball pretty securely. And looked for a quick outlet, which is something else you want to see your goalkeeper do, especially as you're trying to play attractive soccer at home.
Ferreira's pass chopped down by Shinoski. Now Gonzalez battling with McInerney. Gentile keeps it alive. Starikoff gets a heel to it. Now Steinberger. Saad unable to get all the way up, and Travis Wara out to make sure that McInerney couldn't clean up. Lavity. Gonzalez playing it back for Shinoski. Now Lavity. Owusu had some time off the bench last week. Now Thompson. Shriver for Imura. Thompson service in. Osewusu in pursuit. He keeps it alive. Mitchell heads it clear. Imura, Gonzalez, and now Troyer for Richmond. Lavity. Broken up by Steinberger. Ferreira. Starikoff back for Tyler Pasher, buccaneering up the far side. Mattern looks for Saad, broken up by Troyer. Imura. Gonzalez. Umar. And that's an Indy throw. How tough is it, Ronnie, for Thompson and Gonzalez tonight playing different roles further back?
You know, I think I've seen this transition a lot over my career where you get outside midfielders who can kind of decide to drop back and play as an outside back. And I think the advantage they have is they're used to playing out wide. You just have to kind of remember your defensive responsibilities a little bit more. But I think they're both doing a very good job right now. There's a little bit of miscommunication there in the back.
Boy, Ferreira and Fawn Williams were not on the same page.
Yeah, so I think they're both doing a very good job right now, and I really expect them to, as the game goes on, to get more comfortable and get forward like Scott Thompson did just a couple minutes ago.
Gentile service in, denied by Mitchell. Lavity trying to keep it alive, and the kickers will reshape through Shadowski. 22nd minute, no score. Gentile was offside.
Yeah, and Lee's actually has a pretty good history of, some of the better outside backs the kickers have started as outside midfielders with Tony Williams and Sasha Gores and a couple other guys.
Fawn Williams will take the free kick. Spent some time in the 3rd and 4th divisions in England, then on to Inverness Caledonian Thistle, which has bounced between the Scottish Premiership and their 2nd division. Ouimet went up to win that header, and Wara off his line to make sure McInerney didn't have an open net. Lavity deflected out by Steinberger, a former first-round draft pick of the Houston Dynamo. More than a little MLS experience, starting with the coach. Here's Imura. And he goes down under the Steinberger challenge, and Mr. France is going to mark that free kick.
Yeah, so you think Yudai Amora is definitely starting to get his legs underneath him a little bit and getting forward a little bit more, and tries to take on the Indy 11 player 1v1 and gets kind of tripped from behind. So let's see what the kickers have here, and the Indy 11 defensively looks pretty organized.
Imura's service in. McInerney headed it down. Gonzalez trying to recover. Braden Troyer. Gentile with Williams out of his net. Goal kick, Indy.
Yeah, definitely the best chance for the kickers right there, and great direct ball from Braden Troyer back in the box, catches Indy a little bit off guard, and Williams kind of gets caught in no man's land, and it's a much more difficult shot right there than you would expect, trying to kind of elude the goalkeeper and get it on target.
Ronnie, what was Williams' mindset right there? What was he doing?
I think he was thinking the ball was going to kind of skip in a little bit more than it did, and it hit the grass and kind of caught up, so took more of a bounce straight up instead of skipping into him. And you know, it's, as a goalkeeper, it's hard because you're always trying to judge the ball, and especially first game of the season, a little bit faster pace of the game than what they're used to in preseason. A lot of these teams end up playing college teams most of their preseason games. So when you come to a league game, especially your first one, it takes some time to get caught up to the speed of it.
Indy's preseason was actually all over the place. Chicago Fire, they won that match. They also played FC Cincinnati, but they did play a couple of NAIA college teams. And then Jacksonville, which is reclassifying as Division III. Kickers' preseason schedule was all college teams. Udai Imura battling with Ouimet, who pried it out for Suni Saad. The veteran Watson wearing the captain's armband for Indy tonight. Pasher back for Watson, now Starikov. Watson probing for McInerney. Troyer up to win the header. Lavity. Gonzalez keeps it alive. Or did he?
No, it looks like it was out of bounds out wide. And Matt Watson and Coach Martin Rennie have some history together. Also, I know when Matt left the Kickers, he went to North Carolina FC. At the time, it was the Carolina Railhawks, and Coach Rennie was the coach. So I know he probably brought him into knowing exactly what he was getting and what he expected, and has him wearing the armband.
Several Indy 11 players have previous Rennie ties, couple from the Vancouver Whitecaps. Imura for Richmond, still no score as we are in the 26th minute now.
You see Giuseppe Gentile right there on the right side made a really good diagonal ball in between, or diagonal run in between two defenders, and Kickers didn't even look and see it. But as he does that more and more often, it's going to open up things out wide.
Obi Wusu against Carlisle Mitchell, who jams it out for a throw. Well, this kicker lineup considerably different than what we saw last week, with 3 changes of starters and guys kind of moving around like garanimals, trying to match it up. Again, 4 players away on international duty, but only 2 of those started last week. And as much excitement as there's been over Dane Kelly, we have been led to understand he may not spend much time here.
Yeah, it was a foul by Umar, which you'll take that right there, getting kind of stuck in and making things hard and stopping any sort of a counterattack. But there was a lot of hype when Dane Kelly signed with DC United, and he was quote-unquote loaned out to the Kickers. But like you said, there may not be many opportunities, and I know, especially now with all the international call-ups, DC was hit pretty hard as well.
And Kelly, one of the international call-ups. Imura.
Those call-ups might be good. I hear rumors that Chris Durkin, who's from Richmond and spent time the last 2 years with the Kickers, 17 years old, might be getting his first start today. So got to keep an eye on that.
He's been off the bench in each of DC United's opening 3 matches. Imura playing it out again for an Indy 11 throw. The 11 with the 1 player away on international duty today, Nathan Lewis, who is with Trinidad and Tobago. They also have a couple of players banged up tonight. Starikov, Pasher. Strong run from Pasher, but his cross denied by Shanoski. Nice touch from Gonzalez.
See, and that's where Richmond got into trouble last week, trying to play out of the back in dangerous situations.
Mattern from distance. That's a harmless finish.
Yeah, so good pressure by Indy 11. As soon as they turn the ball over, it's an attempted cross, and Connor Shanoski's in a good spot. But then Kickers try to play out. Indy 11 has really good pressure and ends up winning it back.
The Kickers beat up on the back line. Indy 11 also has a couple of backliners unable to go tonight due to injury. One of those, Aozi, had some time in the Spanish Premier League.
And the Kickers do have a good amount of experience on the bench tonight. With William Yambi, kind of a late signing this year, so I understand he's trying to get his game fitness up to speed, but I think he's definitely an option.
Obi Wusu gets the crowd into the game. Lavity found Shriver. His cross blocked off by Ouimet for the first Richmond corner of the night.
That's extremely well done by Osiwusu right there. I know he's a very exciting player. The kickers are really excited with what he did during preseason, and as he gets his pro legs underneath him, we're really expecting a lot.
4 goals, 8 assists over his career at George Washington. He is a Bowie native, Bowie, Maryland native. Imura will take the corner. Gonzalez trying to send it back in. Imura. Umar. But an offside whistle.
And Udai disagreeing, but I think the assistant got it right on that one.
Not sure Imura gets a vote either way.
I'm pretty sure he's going to disagree no matter what.
Half an hour played at City Stadium. Richmond and Indy both searching for their first goal. Indy searching for their first USL goal. Opening their season here tonight. Von Williams puts it back in play. Starikov heading it forward. Thompson there to start the clearance for Richmond. Starikov wins it back. Now Troyer. And that'll be an Indy throw. Ouimet back for Mitchell. Ferreira. Trying to send Pasher on a run. That's denied by Gonzalez. And Gonzalez won it back. Eventually gets a Richmond throw. .32 minute, no score. How about the folks from Indy?
I know, that's great. They've got a pretty loud little support group down there as well, and it looks like they're going right at the River City Red Army.
Not sure the River City Red Army expected a challenge on opening night.
They've been it's been building for about 5 months, so I'm sure they'll be ready for it.
Kickers get a throw here at the edge of the attacking third. Still scoreless in the 35th minute. Lavity's ball headed away by Mitchell. And then a foul on Lavity as McInerney went down.
So there's a giveaway by Lavity, and then he steps right back in to kind of stop the counterattack. And it's kind of what you want out of your defensive midfielder. Put a bit of a physical presence on the game.
Ouimet's ball bouncing off Steinberger, but easily gobbled up by Travis Wara, making his second straight start as he continues to bounce professionally between the kickers and DC United.
Yeah, it's really important for goalkeepers, especially when they're younger and starting out their career, just to play as many games as possible. So this relationship between DC and the kickers has really worked out well, especially for goalkeepers.
Gentile trying to keep that ball in, did, and Lavity fouled, so free kick coming for Richmond. .34th minute of a goalless match. Things cooling off a bit here. Imagine the players enjoy that shade more than the spectators. Excited there's no snow.
I was worried about it. It was looking bad for a little bit. But
Pasher up for Steinberger.
yeah, it says as a player, this is exactly the weather you want to play in.
And in Richmond, there won't be that many opportunities to play in this kind of weather.
Take advantage of it now while you can.
Although the home schedule pretty front-loaded, which makes it, talking to Lee Kalashaw earlier this week, it's in some ways going to get late early for the kickers because they have so many games front-loaded at home. Got to get off to a good start.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on it. It's, you know, as a team, you kind of like the idea of having a lot of home games up front, but you've definitely got to take advantage of the opportunities and get as many points as you can, because if you do falter out of the starting line and you don't get the points you need to and drop a bunch, then you really put yourself in a tough spot where you've got to press for goals and press for wins on the road, which is always a lot harder.
Mattern. Pasher again. Saad running out of field there. That'll be a Richmond goal kick. Yeah, Kickers back here next week to face North Carolina Football Club, the old Railhawks, also joining USL this year.
You know, as a soccer fan, I was really excited to see that move, because it just the more close rivalries you can get, the better. And then, you know, Raleigh being only 2.5 hours down the road from us, I expect it to be a good rivalry for years to come that's really going to grow.
Mattern up to win the header. Imura got a touch. Steinberger dug it out. One back by Imura.
That's a very good ball by Oscar
Gentile. And Pasher able to get back and challenge the Red Army's reflexes.
Yeah, Oscar Umar did a really good job in there to win that ball and then look forward right away, and I think that's what Coach Kalashaw's looking for. You know, the Kickers get the ball, they need to go forward, play attractive soccer, and try to get the crowd into it.
Gentile will take the throw. He's a North American Soccer League refugee. Lavity. Imura. Obewusu got a boot to it.
Looked like it. The players are calling for a handball. It looked like it could have been from here. It'd be interesting to see the replay there, but again, very good by the Kickers again. Really playing attacking soccer, and there's Udai Amora, and it looked like it hit his hand, but he kept it close to his body. As a goalkeeper, I got to side with the ref on this one and say that shouldn't have been a penalty, but good attacking soccer by the Kickers. That's what they need.
Thompson will take the corner. That was chipped away by Ouimet. Chance for Troyer to regroup.
I think he's looking diagonal.
Mattern up to win that one, but Imura got a touch, and Imura comes away with possession. Gonzalez. Now Lavity. Osewusu. Thompson. Gentile looking for Thompson on the overlap. Saad got there, and Williams clangs it off into the abandoned metal bleachers on this side of City Stadium.
That was a good Scottish League clearance. High and in the stands, get it out.
Thompson will restart. 38th minute. A goalless game thus far. Osewusu, Thompson, Shriver battling with Mattern. Nice job from Mattern there, and now Ouimet gets the clearance rolling. That was broken up by Shinosky. And Lavity will play it back for Warwick. Kickers will reshape. Gentile up for the header.
That's really good pressure by Indy 11 right there. They had the whole team together, got the back line up as the forwards pressed Travis War, and it paid off as they won the ball back.
And Mitchell beginning to probe. Nice touch from Saad for Ouimet. That was broken up by Shriver. Imura for Osewusu. And Lavity got a hand up on McInerney. It'll be an Indy throw, and the lads come together for a little conversation.
I think they called the foul on McInerney first. I think McInerney got him from behind before the elbow came up. There it is right there.
And Ronnie has that one exactly right, much to McInerney's dismay. My facial wounds count for nothing.
I think he made a little bit more of it, as soccer players sometimes do. but I'm sure he'll be fine in a couple seconds.
Shinosky.
That's a good ball.
Probing for Thompson. And Mitchell had to kind of get on his horse right there and restore order.
Yeah, and you see both of these outside backs for the kickers as they get more comfortable and get settled in are starting to wander forward a little bit more at the right opportunities.
And a lot of the last 15 minutes or so has been played on the Indy half. That one got away from Umar a bit. That's good high pressure there from Shriver, who almost wound up eating one of our cameramen. McInerney and Troyer in a wrestling match. And then McInerney tumbles under the foul of Udai Imura.
I think the frustration is starting to show through for McInerney as Udai tried to help him up, and he kind of shrugged him off.
Ferreira probing diagonally for Ouimet. Lays it off for Saad. And his dangerous cross winds up in the back of the net. McInerney scores the first USL goal in Indy 11 history.
Yeah, it was a really good build-up by Indy 11 and a great ball by Said to the far post. I think Raul Gonzalez right there, his inexperience as an outside back shows a little bit. He needs to make sure he gets something on the ball. Instead of trying to flick that, maybe get a head on it and then continue it on to the sideline or even over the end line for a corner kick. But that's unfortunately kind of the story of last year for the kickers also. Play a really good 40 minutes, then one defensive breakdown, and they find themselves behind. So we'll see what the character of the team is and then see if anything changes for Indy 11.
And Jack McInerney, 43 Major League Soccer goals. That is his first in USL. And the 11 leading 1-0.
Yeah, and that was really well done by McInerney, just trying to attack the ball. Really doesn't matter what you get it in with as long as you get it in, and he ended up beating Raul Gonzalez. It's a striker's goal.
Gentile got ahead on that. Umar kept it alive, but it's run down by Saad. Shinosky up for Jose Wusu. That was headed clear by Ferreira. Watson. McInerney. Ferreira again. Matter, nice job to hold the possession there. But Pasher sent it out of play. Richmond throw, 43 minutes gone. Indy 11-1, Richmond kickers 0. Umar turns it along and Ferreira clears it right back out.
The ref just called a foul on Gentile, kind of going in after the clearance, following through into the player.
And it's an Indy free kick. I haven't heard the official announcement of that goal, but got to figure Saad will cleanly get the assist.
Yeah, does a good job to just get a ball across.
And McInerney's sniffed a few out in his time.
Definitely, like I said, that's a striker's goal. They know what to do in front of goal. Really good job by Sunny Said to get the ball across, though, in a dangerous spot.
Gonzalez headed that out for an Indy throw. Now in the 44th minute.
And that's a goal that's going to drive a goalkeeper crazy for Travis War. You have your defensive. The other three defenders were actually in a pretty good spot there to clear the ball and just unfortunately didn't.
Now a kicker's throw. Gonzalez will do the honors. Watson won it for Starikov. Now Watson finds Steinberger, who breaks clear momentarily. Saad got a foot on it, but Travis Warren there to clear it out. Watson again up to win the header. Steinberger out for a Richmond throw. Gonzalez playing it back for Connor Shadowski. Now Braden Troyer, the University of South Carolina product. Less than 20 seconds remaining of regular first half time. McInerney. Pasher again bolting up the wing. Fouled by Gentile. We're in stoppage time.
I think that was a pretty good veteran play out there by Indy 11, feeling a little bit of pressure and hitting the ground, and good defensive pressure by Gentile, just a little bit overly aggressive.
Fourth official has not chosen to share the amount of stoppage time tacked on here. But it will be enough to allow Saad to strike the free kick. Wara getting a piece, and we had an infraction in the box against Indy. And Mr. France says, that's that. First half has come to an end here at City Stadium, with the Richmond Kickers trailing the Indy 11 1-0. Jack McInerney, 43 Major League Soccer goals. Today he scores his first in the United Soccer League, the first in Indy 11's USL history. And the Kickers left to regroup at halftime.
Miles of beautiful beaches, and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a deer.
Hurry into James River Equipment, home of the 10-year tractor warranty. Visit jamesriverequipment.com.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
And back at City Stadium, John Emmett along with the former Kickers goalkeeper Ronnie Pascal. At halftime, it is the home opener for Richmond. They trail the Indy 11 playing their season opener 1-0. And Ronnie, there were some really bright stretches for Richmond. Not a lot of great chances. Indy had a really nice opportunity about the 7th minute that was cleared off the line by a defender. Then the Kickers got into some good spells of possession, had some opportunity, didn't really stress Fawn Williams, but had some, the game was on the front foot, and then all of a sudden it flips, and Indy scores almost immediately.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's kind of what happened a lot last year also. They, there were some really good spells. I think what they were trying to do really showed of trying to get forward, trying to play attractive soccer. Here was that really good opportunity where Braden Troyer did a good job of clearing the ball off the line, which one of those plays you expect to see Braden Troyer make these days. But yeah, like you said, there was never anything that really threatened by the kickers, and that's something that it's early on in the season, so you hope that they can kind of come back with. For Indy 11, I thought they did well. They did what you would kind of want to do, being on the road and playing your season opener. And so here's the goal, getting forward. McInerney, again, does a really good job of getting in front of the defender and kind of winning there. Like I said, as a goalkeeper, that it's really frustrating because everyone's in a good spot. It really should be a harmless ball that should be cleared, and unfortunately, you have a midfielder playing as an outside back, and I think the inexperience kind of showed. But 45 minutes to go. I think both teams are doing well. Like any Martin Rennie team, they're really working hard. Really hard to break down defensively, really organized, and they have a lot of heart and passion.
And an experienced group, although they are playing together in a regular season game for the first time. You've been in some Lee College locker rooms. What do you think the mood is right now? What do you think he's trying to do tactically at this point?
I think it's really important to kind of keep the spirits up. Besides that 20-second spell, it was a really good half by the kickers. The mentality was right. They were trying to get forward. They defended well. They defended well as a group. I think Umar and Lavity are starting to work really well together as center midfielders. So Lee just needs to kind of stress it. There's another 45 minutes. There's no reason to panic yet. But they do need to look a little bit more aggressively, I think, and try to just get a little bit more dangerous. Udai had that one shot that hit the defender from the top of the box, but Umar scored a really good goal from 30 yards out, and I don't think they've even tried one from distance yet. So we've got 45 minutes. I think Lee is going to try to rally the troops. They've got a couple options off the bench that can add some offensive spark, so we'll see how long it takes to go to those guys.
All right, the Indy 11 through Jack McInerney with a 1-0 lead over the Richmond Kickers at halftime. We will continue with more from City Stadium next.
America's best-selling SUV and our entire lineup. Event ends April 2nd. Get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue, America's best-selling SUV, and our entire lineup. Event ends April 2nd. Get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models.
How can an elephant go undercover to ensure great customer service? Well, it goes a little something like this. I carefully prepare my disguise.
Yes, ma'am. We've got a tow truck on the way to you right now.
I approach with the utmost subtlety.
Absolutely.
I observe undetected.
Repairs include a lifetime guarantee.
And slip away without a trace. What? When my customers are happy, I'm happy. And when I'm happy...
More care, less cost. Discover the elephant difference at elephant.com.
Hi, we're being joined today by Jake Edwards, president of the USL. Just getting ready to kick off an exciting 2018 season. Jake, thank you very much for joining us today.
Great, my pleasure.
Looking at some of the players, we've had a number of internationals now that call the USL home. What does that mean to you and the rest of the folks at the league that we're seeing so many of these world-class players now apply their trade here with the USL?
It's important. It's a testament to the growth of the league, the exposure the league's getting around the world now, that players in a number of countries are now seeing the USL regularly, appreciating the quality of what's going on here, and want to make this the league they want to play in, whether that's Didier Drogba, Joe Cole, and players of that caliber and quality who have played at the very highest level. We've had a significant amount of players this season that have played in the Gold Cup, that have played in the World Cup qualifiers, that are playing full senior international, as well as a nice mix of some of the next best players coming out of this country, you know, players on the under-20 national teams. And it's an exciting mix on the field, and I think it just speaks to the commitment and the investment that the owners are making into their clubs, the quality of coaches we now have in our league, and their ability to recruit players from all around the world. And I think it's just the quality of the competition certainly attracting better and better players.
You touched on coaching a little bit with the number of call-ups that we've seen as well from the players here at the USL playing for their national teams. What does that speak to in terms of the quality of coaching that we've seen?
It's great, and it's an area of our league we take seriously and we spend a lot of time on. We have a full-time department here that just works with our coaches. It is critical that we continue to attract better coaches all the time. We've got coaches now that have coached at the MLS, that have coached in Liga MX, that have coached in some of the top leagues around the world. What that brings is an understanding of what it takes to build a professional football club and how to instill a real football culture. Make no mistake, it's a large reason why we have so many top-class players coming in the league, and it's testament to the quality of coaches. Last year we had 2 coaches go on the new Federation Pro license. Now we've got 9 coaches on the Pro license this year, and more coming next year. So those coaches are doing tremendous work at the clubs, from the first team all the way down to the youth programs in the community.
City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. John Emmett with Ronnie Pascal. It is opening night for the Kickers at home, their 26th home opener. They, along with the Charleston Battery, the 2 longest continuously operating professional soccer franchises in the United States. The Indy 11, by contrast, playing their first USL match after 5 years in the North American Soccer League. The Indy 11 with the early lead. McInerney a goal in the 41st minute, his first of the season. Kickers did some good things in the opening 45. They had 2 corners to Indy's 1. Indy did have the preponderance of shots and all of the shots on goal in the first 45 minutes. Relatively clean match thus far. Referee Franz has not had to go to his pocket yet. Kickers 8 fouls to Indy's 5.
Yeah, and the Kickers had a good spell of possession in there. Like we said, they were kind of finding their feet. They last 15, 20 minutes besides that goal, were kind of taking it to them and getting comfortable on the ball. So expect to see that happen again, and kind of continue into the second half and maybe be more aggressive, a little bit more direct, and really look to try to get to goal.
Couple of options in the final 45 for Lee Cowlishaw if he chooses to go into his bench. You've got Fred Owusu-Sakiri, who can certainly come in and generate some offense. Aviel Cordovez, who took a little bit of a knock last week up at Bethlehem Steel, but is in the 18, could play, obviously a striker with considerable pedigree at this level. They signed Evan Lee Thursday. He's been coaching and wasn't really anticipating playing this week, but he's in the 18 as well. William Yambi also trying to gain match fitness. And then you have Finley Wyatt, who's a Kicker youth product, as a part of the extra 18 for Lee Cowlishaw today. For Indy, you've got Justin Braun, who's a proven scorer back from last year. He's recovering from injury, but did have a hat trick in an exhibition match last week. So opportunities for Martin Rennie, as well as the Red Army strong TIFO game early on.
Yeah, they've really come along. It's a great atmosphere here at City Stadium. I know they try to lift their team up. A little bit different than last year's TIFO, but I liked it. They got some smoke bombs coming in a little bit. The atmosphere here at City Stadium has just been fantastic the last couple of years, and the average attendance has been growing, and they break records year after year. And it's just the excitement surrounding the USL right now, the United Soccer League, I think, is outstanding. There's 33 teams this year, and they just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I know in Nashville they've already sold 20,000 tickets for their season opener, so things are definitely looking up for this league. There's a lot of excitement. I think every city you go to that's got a USL team or a potential USL team is really excited about it, and the fans are showing that.
You mentioned Nashville. They are going to play that opening game in the NFL stadium in town because they've exceeded their early ticket optimism. Meanwhile, Indy will play at home next Saturday against FC Cincinnati, and they will do it at Lucas Oil Field, the home of the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, and if that could work out really well as long as the crowd is there to support him. So expect a huge crowd in Indianapolis to kind of fill that place and make it as loud as possible. It's going to be fun. I know there's a lot of excitement in Indy. It's kind of, Indy 11 version 3.0. They've had a couple different owners, a couple different groups. But this group, they've got a lot of experience. They've got a lot of pedigree behind them. And Coach Rennie is a winner. Everywhere he's gone, he's won. So definitely expect to see them do pretty well this year in the USL.
All right, teams are back on the field for tonight's second half. Quick perusal of the kickers lineup. And it appears there are no changes. Indy back out. Saad, McInerney, Starikoff, Watson, Steinberger. And then Matter and Mitchell, Ouimet, Pasher, and Ferreira. So neither team offered a sub during the break as Indy gets us restarted in the final 45 with the 11 enjoying the 1-0 lead. Mitchell for Ouimet. Carlisle Mitchell, who once drew paychecks from Joe Public Football Club. Ouimet broken up by Thompson. Kicker's still a back four of Gonzalez, Shinosky, Troyer, and Thompson, with three of those kind of playing out of position. Osewusu making his first kicker start today. Starikoff, Steinberger. Steinberger's still on it. Now Saad, but we get the flag up for the offside.
Yeah, the kickers back four has been doing a really good job of staying together, and that's something that's always a concern when you've got basically three new players who are playing together in the back that haven't played there before. So they're doing a very good job of staying organized. I can hear Travis Moore from here barking out orders, which is always important also.
Gentile and Pasher engaging in a spirited battle. Winds up an Indy free kick, and Gentile gets a little talking to from Mr. France, the central referee. Here's Watson. Headed away by Thompson. Now Shriver. Mitchell for Indy. Ferreira had some time in the Portuguese league. He's also knocked around a couple of Brazilian clubs. Mitchell again. Just underway second half, 1-0 Indy. Jack McInerney scoring in the 41st. Pasher. And his service jammed away by Shinosky. And Gonzalez making Pasher work for it a little bit there. Saad with the cross. Ouimet. That winds up in the new section behind the goal.
Yeah, the new suite behind the goal. It's a really good addition to City Stadium. I think it adds a lot of atmosphere. It'll be good to see it kind of filled up as the weather gets a little bit nicer.
This is a near 90-year-old facility, longtime home of University of Richmond football, as Gentile finds Imura. That's off Pasher. And it's a Richmond corner.
It's well done by Udai. I think I'd like to see him whip across in there. It's kind of how Indy 11's goal happened, just kind of whipping a ball into a dangerous position. He did a good job of taking him on and getting to the end line, and if he could whip it across, you never know what could happen.
Thompson will take the corner, Richmond's third of the game. That was headed clear by Mattern. Troyer. Osewusu. Steinberger, but only as far as Thompson. Steinberger again, and with Gentile in pursuit. McInerney took a tumble. Mr. France not buying that one. Umar. Watson. Now Pasher. Mattern, the lone pro rookie in this Indy lineup. Broken up by Umar. Udai Yamura with an opportunity. Osewusu. Gentile now. Mitchell there to deny that. Mattern got up for the header. The kicker's trying to regroup through Gonzalez. Lavity. Braden Troyer. Neil Lavity, pro veteran, Minnesota United, FC Edmonton, Cleveland Stars. Back for Wara. Troyer's ball headed down by Ouimet. Nice touch from Watson. Starikov. Starikov service in. Only Gentile there to play it. Giveaway by Imura. But Mattern. Turns into an Indy throw. Saad for Pasher. Saad and Lavity. Gonzalez clears it up to Osewusu. Now Gentile trying to get a little something going with pace. And that's a Richmond throw. Quickly taken for Osewusu, but Mitchell there to break it up. Kickers thought that ball was out. The assistant referee says no. And Watson starts it ahead. Umar got a piece of Saad. Now Pasher for Indy. Gonzalez battling with Steinberger, and that's an Indy throw. Seven minutes into the second half, Richmond trailing this one 1-0. Jack McInerney scoring in the 41st. Off an outstanding feed from that man, Suni Saad. Dearborn native plays it across. Troyer headed it out. Recovered by Watson. Now Gentile trying to get it going for Richmond. Broken up by Ferreira.
Yeah, it's happened a number of times already this half where Richmond's looking direct, looking to go forward, and they're just playing it right into Indy 11's hands. They're extremely organized defensively right now, and they're happy just kind of sitting in and staying compact and making it really hard to break down.
Warren trying to find Gentile, who was calling for the ball. That scored it off Pasher's head. Mitchell back to clean it up. And Murray got a piece, and that's an Indy throw. Hardy little Indy supporters section making more noise.
They've got a lot more to cheer for right now than the Red Army does.
Connor Shinosky. Shriver back for Shinosky. Now Lavity. Osewusu giving chase with Mitchell, who rolls it back to Fawn Williams. And Williams' clearance winds up in the seats. Umar. Imura. That's an Indy throw off Imura, or off of Umar. Starikoff, broken up by Troyer. Mitchell handles the Wara clearance. Fawn Williams. Pasher. Saad, who has some international experience with Lebanon. His parents are of Lebanese nationality. He is from Dearborn, played at the University of Michigan. Shinosky. Umar. Saad was on a Lebanese team that had an Asiatic World Cup qualifier in North Korea. And his story of that trip is a little harrowing.
I could just imagine.
Talk about home field advantage. Pasher trying to get Starikoff going. Troyer there to maintain order. Gonzalez turns with it. Pasher sends it back in. Mattern. Broken up by Shriver. Thompson. And we had a foul against Indy.
Yeah, even now as Richmond's getting ready to take this kick, you've basically got a 1-on-4 up top with Osewusu. Really the only red shirt that's up there looking for the ball. He's got to get players around him. We need some guys really pushing forward to try to get in behind and do something dangerous. I think Indy 11 would be very happy with how this half is playing out so far. They're able to just kind of sit in and put some pressure on the ball at midfield and have the kickers play it to him.
Braden Troyer. Umar probing diagonally for Gentile. That's an Indy throw. More Tyler Pasher. Sporting Kansas City property for a bit. Also time in the Toronto FC system. McInerney and Troyer come together. And that's a Richmond free kick. Still 1-0 Indy. Troyer against high pressure. And that's a Richmond throw. Martin Rennie and his staff offering some helpful officiating hints. Travis Wara gets play restarted. Mitchell heads it forward. Gentile gets a piece. Broken up by Ouimet. Starikoff for Nico Mattern, native of Germany. Steinberger. Shinosky reaching out to deny McInerney a potential touch in the box. Now Steinberger. Mitchell. Probing for Saad. Gonzalez got a piece, but that'll be an Indy throw as we approach the hour mark. And The 11 still up 1-0. Pasher to get it restarted. Saad deflected by Gonzalez, but that'll be a corner for the Indy 11, just their second of the game.
The veteran experience out there for Indy 11 is really starting to show through. It's the little time wasting. Everything they're doing is to just kind of give themselves a break, make sure that they're covered in the back, make sure that they're taking their time and really controlling and dictating the pace of the game.
When your rookie is 25 years old, you're a pretty experienced bunch. Tyler Pasher is actually the youngest of the starters at 23. That bounced around dangerously for Watson. It winds up a Richmond goal kick. That's got to be fun when you're a goaltender. It's pinging off about 6 different guys.
We have the first card of the night.
Yeah. And Nico Mattern doesn't want to hear it, but he has been booked.
So it's a good ball into the box, and like you said, just bouncing around, ping-ponging, and fortunately, just a little bit off target. I thought that was pretty close. And then a yellow card to kind of break up the counterattack by the kickers. I think it was a pretty good strategic foul by Indy 11. Again, kind of the veteran experience of fouling them at midfield instead of letting the counterattack play out.
So Mattern, yellow card in the 60th minute. The game's first caution. And a free kick for Richmond. Pasher chasing that down. Shanoski up to play it, and then Steinberger, kind of an optimistic ball right there.
Yeah, and everything's very one-dimensional for the kickers. Everything's straight balls, no interchange of position up front. You know, you've got 3 guys in Shriver, Osiwusu, and Gentile who are all kind of forwards who should be interchanging up there and making diagonal runs, and really not happening right now. So if the kickers want to get into this, I think they need a lot more movement, a lot more creativity, and some dangerous runs.
A little high pressure there creates a turnover, but Umar's ball winds up in oblivion. And a goal kick coming for the Indy 11. Vaughn Williams, who's former club, Inverness Caledonian Thistle, responsible for the greatest headline in the history of the world. About a decade ago, they beat Celtic in the Scottish Cup, and the headline the next day was Super Cali goes ballistic, Celtic are atrocious.
That is fantastic. I think I'd agree with you. That might be the best soccer headline ever.
It's best headline ever. Travis Wara off his line to turn it the other way. Mitchell gets ahead to it. Lavity's header broken up by McInerney, and now Ouimet sending it forward. McInerney trying to keep it in play against Umar. Mattern's ball deflects to Gentile. Now Gonzalez. Diagonal ball for Shriver. Finds Osewusu. Now Umar. Thompson. His service in. Results in a goal kick. A little bit of promising build-up there for Richmond. And now we're going to have, it's like 2 substitutions. I think we're going to get Fred Owusu-Sekiri will replace Shriver here. And Matthew Bolduck will come on.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that the Lee Kalashaw's going to the bench right now. Try to add some energy, some fresh legs, a little bit of spark going forward. I know Owusu's been a real energetic player coming in off the bench the end of last year. Always adds a lot of energy and creativity.
So Bolduck for Lavity.
So
Owusu Sakiri for Shriver.
Bolduc came over here to the right, put Gentile up top to be more of a target forward, I think, and then Owusu tucked in behind him, which I think is a pretty good move. You put a bigger, stronger target forward up top to be able to deal with the long balls in the direct play, and hopefully get guys running in behind him.
Troyer broke up McInerney's ball. Saad in pursuit with Gonzalez. Saad an opportunity to turn with it. That's knocked down by Shinovsky. He bounces out for an Indy throw. Mattern. Subs coming in the 64th minute. Richmond using 2 of their 3 at once. Ferreira's ball squirting to Watson. Trying to play it for McInerney, and now Ouimet making a run. And he earns himself a corner as that squirted off Thompson.
That was a really good ball by Matt Watson right there, and that's what he adds, a little bit of creativity and flair to miss out the first guy and see the runner coming in down the line.
Red Army looking for something to cheer other than the craft beverage trucks. As Suni Saad gets set to take the corner. His outswinger, Watson, got a piece of it. Troyer deflected it away with Ferreira lurking, and that's an Indy throw. And yeah, they're in no great hurry to keep the game moving.
Yeah, I think we're going to see this for the next 25 minutes, as long as the scoreline stays the same.
Pasher and McInerney engaging in a little team juggling here. But now Ferreira pressed by Gentile. Sends it back to Williams. Now Ferreira looking for McInerney. Broken up by Gonzalez. Bolduc getting his first opportunity on the ball. Imura deflected it. Umar finds Osewusu. Now Fred gets his first touch, and here's Bolduc. Trying to make an instant impact. Chased down by Osewusu. He chips it in, Gentile. Got a piece. Bolduc trying to keep it alive, but ran out of field, and it's an Indy goal kick.
That's definitely the best bell right there by the kickers. Both subs kind of making an immediate impact. Great ball across by Bolduc. Unfortunately, still nothing to really challenge Owain Fond Williams.
And Williams will restart here. In the 67th minute, 1-0 Indy. Jack McInerney in the 41st. McInerney here, broken up by Troyer. Owusu Sakiri for Bolduc. Hey, a little through ball for Gentile. Gentile, and Williams makes his first save of the day.
Yeah, it's much better by the kickers, though. Looking to get forward. Comfortable save for Williams.
Here's Udai Imura. Imura, a little space.
There we see the save by Williams again, but really good run by Gentile. Good through ball, and that's what we need to see some more of.
Ferreira's clearance only as far as midfield, and Umar tumbles under the Steinberger challenge, and Steinberger goes into Mr. Franz's book.
Yeah, Braden Troyer did an excellent job right there of kind of staying away so that he doesn't get a foul called on him, and Umar with a little touch away and got the studs to the top of the foot to thank him for it.
And Umar standing over the ball for the reset here. Played to Imura, but before Mr. Franz was ready to restart. 2 cautions issued, both to members of the Indy 11, Mattern and Steinberger. Umar probing for Thompson. Cleared away by Ouimet. And then Saad tipping that off Umar out for an Indy throw. Looks like Indy's getting ready to offer a sub. I think it'll be Justin Braun. Umar able to clear that out. Actually, they're going to bring in Juan Guerra momentarily. Juan Guerra getting set to enter for the 11. In the meantime, play continues. Ouimet trying to battle around Imura. Steinberger, that was jammed away by Umar, and then Owusu Sakiri got a little piece, but Watson's flick denied by Thompson, and now Gentile racing after the ball with Mitchell. Gentile. Osewusu. Unable to control, and now McInerney sends it along for Saad. Troyer back to break that up. Starikov for Indy. And Mitchell will settle it down. 11 able to reshape with possession now. Watson. 71st minute. Indy up 1-0. McInerney, the game's lone goal, back in the 41st off a Saad cross. That's out for a Richmond throw. And that will allow Juan Guerra to enter the match. Guerra will replace Starikov. Guerra has had some time with the Venezuelan national side. He is a native of Caracas. Played with the Cosmos last season. The New York Cosmos, who are still sort of semi-operational. Without the encumbrance of a league.
Yeah, it was good to see the Cosmos brand come back. Unfortunately, we all kind of know how the direction that's going. But some really good signs here by Richmond. I think they're getting forward. Gentile's done a very good job of staying forward, staying on that last defender and finding little gaps.
Gonzalez finds Bolduc. That's broken up. Some solid defending from Ferreira. Now Gonzalez plays it in. That's headed out by Mitchell. And Saad moves it forward. Umar, the sliding tackle, right in front of Lee Kalishaw on the Richmond bench. And it's an Indy throw. Ouimet for Watson. McInerney. Again, an Indy throw.
It's a great tackle there in the box, 1v1 by Ferreira, as Bolda kind of got the ball inside the box and looked to go past him. Just kind of held his ground and got a toe in.
Now opportunity for Watson. The former kicker sends it across. And it will trickle out for a Richmond throw. Shinosky trying to bang it out. Mattern got a piece of it. Osewusu for Owusu Sakiri. Owusu Sakiri goes down. He got a collision involving his head.
Yeah, the ball was cleared right into his head, face head. Here it goes, just right off his face. Referee does a good job of stopping it right away with a head injury, which is what they need to do these days. So Owusu's been a bright spot since he came in, so hopefully he can get up and recover from this.
Kicker's already thin with 4 away on international call-up and several nagging / minor injuries. A couple of the guys on the bench tonight are not what you would call exactly match fit. Although you probably could roll Evan Lee or Yambi out for final 17 plus minutes of this one.
Yeah, they've definitely got some options if they need to bring someone in. If Cordovez isn't really fit to go, you can slide someone in the back, move Gonzalez or Thompson into the midfield, put Braden in the midfield or out wide as a defender. So lots of different choices, lots of things they could do. Red Army looks like they're just dying for something to celebrate.
Yeah, that little flick right there from Ferreira, it just inadvertently caught Fred Owusu-Sakiri, former VCU Ram by way of Ghana. Kicker's medical staff continues to offer him attention. Jack McInerney's 41st minute goal. The difference in this one, Indy 11-1, Richmond nothing.
Been a relatively quiet night for Wayne Fond-Williams in the back for Indy 11 in his USL debut. I know he's stepping in to goal for John Bush, who manned the nets for Indy 11 the last couple of years. Player, assistant coach, tons of experience. I think he's one of the top 5 leaders in MLS for all-time appearances and wins. Really a great ambassador for the sport.
Owusu-Sakiri has gone to the side. He is conferring with Lee Cowlishaw, who has the decision to make. See if they can get Fred back in, or does he have to use his 3rd and final sub here? None of his remaining subs appear to be in any urgent hurry to get ready.
No, I think they're just being extra precautious because it is a head injury. But doesn't look like they're going to the bench yet. It looks like they're going to try to get him back in there.
For the moment, Kicker's playing with 10. Molda gets a piece of that. Gonzalez rolls it back to Shinosky. Now Troyer. And Indy content to sit back and watch the Kickers rag it around a bit. Now Umar starts forward. Probing on the left for Thompson, but that's an Indy throw, and now Owusu-Sakiri will rejoin the match. Kickers back to full strength. McInerney for Indy. Saad trying to play it along. And then scored it off a kicker for an Indy 11 throw. Indy here happy to chop the game up into 1,000 pieces and get out of town with 3 points.
Yeah, I think this is outside of a couple dangerous balls forward by Richmond, this is really playing into Indy's hands right now.
Mattern
looked very comfortable on the ball, very comfortable defensively.
Ferreira for Saad, broken up by Thompson. Bolduc for Richmond. Probing for Gentile, who's unable to keep it in play despite a spirited effort. Minutes plus stoppage time remaining here at City Stadium. Indy trying to see out a 1-0 lead. Umar got a piece of that, but it was broken up by Pasher. Troyer up for the header. Gentile. And Williams off his line to gobble that one up. Thompson got ahead to that, but it winds up an Indy throw. Troyer deflected by Steinberger, but right to Gonzalez. Udai Imura.
So that was well done by Gonzalez. I know there's only 11 minutes left, but he looked up and really didn't see any options. And instead of just playing a ball to no one forward, he brought it back and kept possession.
Now Gonzalez for Gentile. Bolduc trying to get that to Gentile, but Ferreira right there. Bolduc recovers. Imura. Umar. Owusu Sakiri. Oscar Umar again. Owusu Sakiri. Bolduc. Osewusu, but it winds up an easy scoop for Williams. Decent build up there, and then no final product as Pasher sends it out of play for a Richmond throw.
Yeah, and Bolduc is doing exactly what you need to do, is finding the gaps in the middle of the field. Even though he's a wide player, there's really no reason to stay wide at this point. Pick and choose your times to come inside.
Now Gentile battling Ferreira and Matter, and Gentile played it across. And it trickles out for a corner.
Really good work by Gentile up top too, using his strength to kind of hold them off the ball and whipping a ball across. There's nobody home for Richmond.
Imura will take the corner here. Owusu Sakiri, but that was cleared easily. Wara way out. Fine, Williams able to gobble that one up. Under 9 minutes plus whatever added on time we'll get. Williams again sending a clearance out for a Richmond throw. And we're going to get an Indy sub.
Brad Ring coming in, who's another guy with a ton of MLS experience.
And Ring will replace the rookie Matterin. So Indy using their second sub.
He's just going to sit in front of the back four, I think, and just kind of help solidify things defensively for Indy 11.
Meanwhile, Richmond gets the restart. Right?
Offsides call on Osewusu. Just kind of sitting behind the back four before he challenged for that ball.
So Brad Ring, one-time San Jose Earthquake, 38 Major League Soccer appearances.
Williams again in no rush to take this ball for Indy 11, put it back in play.
He's going to wait as long as the officials allow, it appears. And just as Mr. France started walking in that direction, Williams lets it go. Lemet off Owusu Sakiri. Umar got a boot to that. Watson went down to break it up. Now Owusu Sakiri struggling with Weemet. It's a Richmond throw and tempers fray momentarily. Gonzalez has some room. Umar back for Shinoski. Troyer. Probing for Gonzalez. Gonzalez has a little space. Steinberger able to break it up for an Indy throw.
Yeah, Gonzalez did a really good job of kind of creeping up the sideline and finding some space in there diagonally, and just unfortunately his touch as he tried to take it inside let him down. But Indy 11 will be really happy to kind of give him that as long as they don't get into too many dangerous situations. And they've got plenty of guys behind the ball.
Under 6 minutes of the 90 remaining. And still the Jack McInerney goal in minute 41 stands up. Pasher. Broken up by Shinoski. Ring gets ahead to it. Bolduc battling with Watson, who wins it, then is fouled by Bolduc. And Mr. Franz will allow Watson an opportunity to kind of put himself back together again as time continues to dwindle off the clock.
Yeah, and he does a really good job, Matt Watson, using that experience to kind of step in front of the ball and put his body in a place where he knows he's going to get hit and draw the foul. Took about a minute off the clock again.
Ring chips it in. Gonzalez got in front of Steinberger. But that's an Indy throw. Now less than 5 minutes plus stoppage. See if they share the stoppage time with us in the second half.
Yeah, I expect there to be a significant amount.
That's a Richmond goal kick. Travis Wara doesn't want to waste any time, but the kickers will offer their final change. And they are going to get Finley Wyatt in for Uday Imura. So Wyatt, who was born in England but wound up attending Midlothian High School.
Yeah, and I remember when I was playing, he was playing for the Kickers Youth Club, and as he got older, came up and trained with the pro team a couple times, which is one of the really cool things of kind of the setup that the Kickers have. They do a really good job of incorporating some of the youth guys into the professional organization, and I think this year they've got goalkeeper Kent Dickey and Sam Bacon, who are with Richmond United, actually signed a contract. So not only has the USL done a good job of trying to implement that and grow it, but the Kickers have been always kind of at the forefront of the entire pyramid, all the way from rec soccer up to the professional level.
And Finley Wyatt going to get some run here. Gonzalez plays it in, and Fawn Williams had an adventure.
Great ball into the box right there, and Gentile did a really good job of trying to follow that up. It was a great ball whipped in behind and almost an own goal.
Yeah, that tipped off Ferreira. And Fawn Williams had to make his best stop of the night. And now we get a foul in midfield. And Owusu Sakari is going to go into the book in the 88th minute. So the Kickers' first caution of the season.
Yeah, Owusu got him. Yeah, nicked his leg a little bit, not really going for the ball. Probably a good yellow card by Franz there.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL for the latest Select products and special offers. please visit www.selectsportsamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders of over $50. So a 1-0 Indy lead as we are now in the 89th minute, and there should be a fair amount of stoppage added by the officials.
Yeah, this is the second significant stoppage for an injury, one by each team. Should add a good amount of injury time to give Richmond a little bit more time to get an equalizer.
Suni Saad back on his feet. Indy still has a sub to offer. Kickers have used all of their 3. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter. Indy with the restart. Gonzalez and McInerney sends that out for a kicker's goal kick.
An ambitious effort right there, but something you'd expect a true goal scorer to try.
Travis Warrer hurries it back into play as we are in the final minute of the 90. Umar. Thompson. 6 minutes of added on time. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Kickers trying to salvage a point here, but this will be an Indy throw, and now the 11 will offer their final sub. McInerney will leave the match, and now we'll get Justin Braun.
Another guy coming off the bench. It's a good problem to have for Martin Rene when you've got guys with this much experience that you can bring in off the bench to kill a game off.
And Braun, a guy who has scored his share of goals. 26 in Major League Soccer. He was a member of the late, and for the most part, unlimited USA Chivas. In stoppage time, kickers trail by a goal. Both teams now have used all 3 available subs. Here's some space for Gonzalez. Mitchell able to clear that out. Watson headed forward. But Thompson. And that's off Ouimet. Kickers throw with about 4 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Owusu Sakari tipped out by Saad. Umar trying to keep it alive, but Ring banged it ahead. And Yosei Wusu got a little handsy right there.
Yeah, I think at this point, Richmond, in order to have any success, is going to have to kind of move the ball side to side and try to find little gaps. And if you're Indy 11, you're just getting numbers behind the ball, trying to take all those away and just get as many people behind it as possible and make it as hard as you can for Richmond to break you down and find anything.
First touch for Braun. Ouimet trying to keep it in play, but that's a Richmond throw. Owusu Sakari. Gentile. Again a Richmond throw. Owusu Sakari down the sideline for Gentile, but that winds up out of play. Now probably about halfway through the 6 minutes of added on time. Yep, a little more than 3:20 has elapsed. Nice job by the crew to give us the clock on the screen. There is no stadium clock going past 90. Ferreira banged it ahead. Umar trying to keep it alive. Shinosky has to play it back for Wara. Kickers trying to find a goal now deep in stoppage time. Umar. That's an Indy throw, and they will take their time putting it back in. Still over 2.5 minutes remaining for the Kickers. Braun in traffic. Osewusu battling with Braun and Ouimet. And out of that, we get a sending off offense committed by Owusu Sakiri.
And that was a straight red.
That's what, yeah, it looked like a straight red. Either way, he would have been done because he was already in the book, but Owusu Sakiri red carded deep in stoppage time.
I didn't see what happened. It must have been something a little bit off the ball.
Yeah, I was following the ball, and it apparently happened beyond the view of the crew as well. As play resumes, Kickers down to 10 men and down to maybe a minute. Gentile racing with Mitchell. Mitchell tumbles, no whistle. Gentile goes down just outside the box, and Richmond gets a free kick and a yellow card for.
That's really good job by Gentile right there to continue in playing, and you could see right there a pretty reckless tackle, just stopping him from getting into the box.
Yeah, Ferreira took him down, and Ferreira goes into the book. And the Kickers from just outside the box will get a free kick in the dying embers of stoppage time.
You see Travis War coming in, try to add a little bit more chaos in front of the goalkeeper. Really important here to get a good service into the box by Raul Gonzalez. Miss those first couple Indy 11 defenders and just put it in a box in a spot in the box where there's a lot of bodies and anything can happen.
And the Kickers salvage a point on what may well be the final action of the game. Gentile and Gonzalez. Gonzalez. Wyatt bounced off Bolduc. It's an Indy goal kick, and we are done.
So they had an opportunity. Ball bounced out to Wyatt, and he usually can hit that ball pretty well. Just didn't really make the contact he was hoping for.
And the Kickers blanked on opening night at home. The Indy 11 earns 3 points in their first ever USL match. It's Indy 11 1, Richmond Kickers 0. We'll recap it next.
Bye, Mom. Have fun.
Maybe next weekend.
Why wait? With the affordable John Deere 3E Series tractor, you can clear the chore list in no time. Go from to-do to done.
Looks like we had nothing to worry about.
Bring a 3E home today for just $139 per month. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Hurry into James River Equipment, home of the 10-year tractor warranty. Visit jamesriverequipment.com.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue with ProPilot Assist that helps keep you centered in your lane. The technology of tomorrow, available today. This is your last chance to save on America's best-selling SUV and our entire lineup. It's time for an upgrade. Hurry in to Nissan Now. Exclusive offers and this event end April 2nd. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models or save up to $10,500 on select models.
Elephant Auto Insurance presents Richmond Landmarks with Gene Cox. Built in 1901, Main Street Station has defined Richmond's skyline for over 100 years. One of the oldest train stations in the country, and it still keeps folks on the move. With its national headquarters right here in Richmond, Elephant keeps people on the move without breaking the bank. So log on to elephant.com for a free quote today. It's the most Richmond thing you can do.
And we are back at City Stadium. John Emmett along with Ronnie Pascal. Opening night for the Richmond Kickers at home, but a 41st minute goal by Jack McInerney for the Indy 11, proving to be the margin of difference in this one as Indy comes to City Stadium and they get all 3 points.
Yeah, great ball again by Saad, and McInerney doing what he's paid to do. Getting in front of goal and beating the defender to it and putting it in. Definitely a goal scorer's goal right there. You know, doesn't have to be pretty. It always counts if it goes in the back of the net.
And that turned out to be all of the scoring tonight. Kickers had a couple of second half chances that challenged Fawn Williams, one near own goal. Indy also with a couple of opportunities. Weemet there shooting wide. The Kickers trying to get it going late. Subs had a nice impact.
Yeah, Oscar Umar did a really good job of controlling the midfield there. You see him kind of getting a foul, and really good ball by Raul Gonzalez. And you know, ball bounces an inch one way or another, and it could have been a different result by the Kickers. Here's their very last chance. Ball pops out to Finn and just doesn't really hit it the way he wants to. But you know, overall, the Kickers, I think they've got a lot to grow from here. The attitude by everyone was great. You can't really question the work rate or what they were trying to do. It's just it's a rebuilding process and something that Coach Kalishaw hasn't had to deal with a lot. But I think they're moving in the right direction. And for Indy 11, I think it went exactly how they'd hope it to go. Defensively, very sound. They've got a lot of veteran experience, and it showed. And it was a good building block for them to kind of step on and make it to the next game.
So Indy pulls this one out 1-0. Kickers are right back here next Saturday night facing North Carolina FC. It is a 5 o'clock kickoff at City Stadium. And again, we'll be on CBS 6.1 as well as USL YouTube. For Indy, they are at home at Lucas Oil Stadium next week, taking on FC Cincinnati. Ronnie, really enjoyed it. Looking forward to doing it a whole bunch more this year.
Yeah, it was great. We had a good time, and maybe next time we'll have a better result.
And we thank Mike Boyack and our crew for their outstanding work tonight. John Emmett for Ronnie Pascal. Again, our final, Indy 11-1, Richmond Kickers 0 from City Stadium. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.